Mulo Francel and I'm a saxophone player. I made a new album and I want to tell you something a little bit about this new album. It's called the Melody Sax. And of course I played it on a saxophone. But I did not play it on my tenor saxophone, which I play usually, very often. And I did not play it on an alto saxophone, which I don't play very often but like to. And I don't play it on a soprano saxophone. And I did not play it on the clarinet either. But I played it on a saxophone, on a very rare instrument. I played our new album on this instrument. The album is called the Melody Sax and this instrument is called the C-melody sax. I found it on a New York flea market on a summer day 1994 and I thought maybe it's a small tenor sax or it's something like an alto sax with a bow, but no, it's in between. It's tuned in C because the tenor sax is tuned in B. If you play a C in the instrument, in reality you hear a B flat. And the alto saxophone, if you play a C in the instrument, in reality you hear an E flat. But here, if you play a C, then you hear a C. So it's a C melody saxophone. It's from the year 1923. And that's exactly the year where my great-grandparents Bertha and Franz Kaffler migrated from Bavaria to New York. But unfortunately they came back some years later, so my English is not very good. It would have been better if they stayed in New York. But now let's have a look into the studio recordings. I love these songs of the 1920s. They have a special smile in my opinion. We played Close Your Eyes, Out of Nowhere, After You've Gone, Summertime. That's Gershwin composed it 1926. Love Theme from Charlie Chaplin's The Gold Rush. I Found a New Baby, Bye Bye Blackbird, Singin' the Blues, The Man I Love. I have the album as a long play, a CD and of course digitally. Yeah, I think these songs, they have a special smile and we tried to transpose this smile into a modern musical context with Fender Rhodes piano, jazz guitar, double bass and drums, and in the midst this old 100-year-old instrument. I have some heroes on the C-melody saxophone. The first one is Rudy Wiedoeft. He played in the 1910s and the 1920s. He was a very extraordinary artist, virtuoso. Unfortunately, he died very early because I think he drank too much. And the other guy you see here a record with Big Spider Becke and Frankie Trumbauer. Big Spider Becke on the cornet and Frankie Trumbauer on C-melody saxophone. I love their version of Singing the Blues, and we tried to imitate that version on our record. At the end of the 1920s and the beginning of the 1930s, the big bands came up. The big bands were big bands, really big bands with a lot of musicians, maybe 17, 18 musicians, and they needed the low saxophones and the high saxophones. So they only had tenor saxophones and alto saxophones. And not a single big band had a C-melody saxophone. So they disappeared from the scene. Nobody played anymore the C-melody saxophone. It was built up to the beginning of the 30s, and then they disappeared somewhere in the history of music. There are a lot of more informations on the C-melody saxophone and why did it disappear exactly on the booklet of my album and on my website. I had a lot of fun playing this record with a team of young musicians. They are still, some of them are still in their 20s. We had a lot of fun, and so we try to keep us fit and to stay young, my 100-year-old C-melody saxophone and me. We travel a lot together, we play a lot together, and last summer I have been with my friends of our band Quadro Nuevo on the volcanoes of Iceland. This was a very special experience, and the lava is coming out of the volcanoes like out of nowhere, like the solo of a funny jazz player coming out of his horn. Just listen to our version of Out of Nowhere, and let's have a look to the very, very hot volcanoes of Iceland. Bye bye.